Hey, this is Brennan, and today we're going to draw some dynamic poses with the human form. And what I'm going to do is go use quickposes.com, which is a great resource for practicing drawing the human body. Basically, gesture drawing is what we're doing. We're getting the body in many different, abstract or dynamic forms that maybe that you don't see on a regular basis, but will help you to understand the body a little bit more. And the point behind gesture drawing is not to actually draw a detailed drawing, but of the person, the subject that you see, but just to get the actual gesture, the feeling that is represents the person as they are in the photo. So with this one, I just want to make a point that this is going to be a mature audiences kind of thing where I don't know if I have to go so far as to say if you're younger than 18 then you need your parents' permission. But as it is with art, we usually draw people in the nude. That way we can understand the workings of their body a bit better. And there's going to be quite a bit of that in this. What we're doing here is not long. You can do up to 2-minute drawings here, as you see on. Let me get my mouse moving. Down here, you can choose how many seconds you want to draw each one. I'm just going to go ahead with the 60 seconds. In this case, I'm going to start like this anyway. I'll start with 60 seconds, see what happens. That seems to be the default recommended thing there. And these are like advanced challenges or something. I'm not going to do that. I'll go to gesture drawing. I have communicated with the site itself. I've talked with them and they're totally cool with me doing this, so no worries with that. And yeah, 60 seconds. I'm gonna do all, which is male and female, nudes and underwears, or all. You can have clothes too. Yeah, I'm gonna go with all. So I have a mixture of the clothes. Why is this not working? Click. I can click that, I can click this, but that doesn't, oh, that does work. Okay, well, a little bug in there. Anyway, it's working now. And then, yeah, so, if you don't like nudes, or if you don't like looking at nude people, or if you feel uncomfortable with it, then you might not want to watch this video. You can stop it right now. And if you're young, then maybe go get your parents' permission or whatever. I personally don't think it's any big deal. It's not pornography, it's just people who are nude for artistic reasons. And with that being said, we're going to start. Here we go. Okay. Luckily, the first one's not a nude. Or do I care? Not really. I'm just using regular size canvas here. I'm going to have to jump right into this. So she has a head. I'm just going to hit the things that, stand out to me. Her arms come down like this. And it seems to be recommended if you can just do everything in one quick line. Like, her leg should be like this, right? And the other one here, her knee stands out to me. You can tell that her foot, she's kind of like on the tips of her foot. Right? I have the knees coming out here. And I definitely want to try and get out the understanding that she's female. So basically what we come up with is one of these kind of things. And the hair is coming down like this. Yeah. And this is meant to be done in just line drawing. So you see, I didn't do this one very well. I didn't like it. Here comes another one. Just 60 seconds. What is it with me and slurring things sometimes? Okay. So again, we're going to go very quickly, just try and get the essence of everything here. You know that his body is going to be here. Use a little bit of logic and a little bit of the eyeball, and what you come out with should be a gesture drawing. His shoulder swoops down just like this and then comes down over here, and it's making sort of a little triangle in here, and you can just judge the distance very quickly from here to there. And that would be, see, this one I'm preferring over the last one. I don't know why. Maybe because it was the first one I did, so I wasn't ready for it. This one's coming out a little bit. I mean, definitely, you can look at this right now as it is, having not seen that photo, and you'll probably know exactly what it was. You can tell it looks like a ninja with a sword in his hand in a crouched position. Okay, so what really catches me about this person here is the way that her head is touching her shoulder right here. So I'm going to try and emphasize that. I also find it very interesting how this shoulder comes out in almost like a perfect square, like that. And then you have this instrument, the accordion, I believe it is. Now to get a real quick accordion look, I'm not going to worry about that. That's an object. What we're trying to do here is capture the essence of the figure, more importantly. But I will, if I have a few seconds left, jump in there and try and do something with the accordion. Her feet are going to be a bit more important for me. And this foot here. Can I capture that delicate tippy toe kind of pose? If so, that would be really, really nice to have that in there. And then for the accordion, we can do something like this. Game over. Maybe, can you tell it's an accordion? I don't know. Okay. Now we're getting into a nude. It just goes back and forth with different, random. These are all random images. Definitely with this guy. Now, do I want to start off this time? Maybe I'll try something different. Maybe I'll do the whole body first as like a box. There's definitely a triangle here. I can definitely feel this leg coming down like that. And then this one is prominent, kind of comes forward like this. And the foot should definitely land in. This foot lands a bit further than that one. Yeah, so this is more of a stereotypical gesture drawing here. What I think this, I'm no pro at this, but I think this is what we'd be going for. We get these really quick, sharp lines. Should take seconds to get the whole body done. And there is a point to this, which I'm not sure if I can articulate while I'm doing this. The point is what? The point is that you're developing a skill to jot down a human gesture, their physical, gesture within a very short amount of time. So when it comes time for you to do other types of drawings, whereas you need to understand, I don't know, let's say we're doing comic books or some kind of series for a what would you say, storyboards or something, and you just need to get some bodies out real quick. Or even if you're just doing sketches for what's going to be like a masterpiece oil painting or something. You don't want to spend days and days just working on the gesture. You would hope that the gesture can pop out real quickly. And you might want to experiment with hundreds of different gestures. This little big, make his head bigger. So the ability to just throw down some poses, physical poses, is very useful for a lot of different reasons. And just to become more familiar with the way that the body moves around. Deja vu, I've drawn this one before. No complaints though. It's a pretty cool picture. Or I don't know if I did this exact one or was it, I know there's this person. She has the red hair and, okay, see what's interesting here? There's another thing, you learn things when you do it. See how her shoulder pops out there, and this one, well, if I could get her head right to begin with. I have to imagine her neck is in there. This shoulder is kind of like coming up. Alright, and this is a perfect thing for a gesture drawing, where you see this one, you might want to do something like this to really get those curves that come out. And it can be exaggerated, it doesn't have to be, exactly what you see. See how there's kind of a swerve that comes down here and another swerve that comes down there? That kind of thing. Those are the kind of things that you really want to get with gesture drawing, because it'll help you to, well, first of all, to get familiar with those types of shapes and to bring out more of that life of the gesture in your drawing. There's a million and one reasons to do this. I'm sure that people can sit around and argue about it. I'm sure somebody is probably going to be watching this right now and be like, nah, he's wrong about everything he's saying. And, that's fine, because you don't have to agree. You don't have to like everything you hear. you can deal with it. Those are your options. So this is pretty cool because we have this coming down here. If I could do this, I'm not good at, getting this particular stroke. I'm left-handed, and so it's like I'm pushing my hand forward. Another part of the gesture here we can learn real quick. Look at how you get sort of a gesture out of the clothing too, which is kind of fun. This comes down like that, and then this one comes down like that, and then this goes all the way down, that kind of thing. The rest of this is relatively simple, in my opinion. I think we're just doing like pretty much straight lines coming down here. She's got some clothing wrapped up there, almost a monk kind of look. Obviously the hair here isn't that great. Okay, I'm just deleting these as I go along. No need to make a big deal out of it. Her hair comes down like this. Now her arm stands out to me. First of all, I see this little triangle going on here, so her wrist comes up. It's interesting, definitely useful gesture pose there, and you see just a little bit of her face come out. She's rather skinny, so this hand I'm going to say goes off that way. And I always see all these triangles. See where her back end is here. There's a triangle here. The stereotypical, what do you call it? The vase-shaped body here coming out. This comes out this way. We have more of that, a little bit of this. This is an interesting one. See, sometimes is one thing that I don't like about the quick poses. Sometimes I wish I could stop it and just study that one. Technically, I could do a screenshot, which I will right now. Print screen. I just barely got it. Okay. You can do screenshots, the ones you like, I guess, and come back later. I see a triangle head. I see so many triangles. I must be a fan of trigonometry. I like how her hair comes like just about to her shoulders. And we have triangle, 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 triangle. I've seen all different types of stuff with gesture drawing. I don't really like the way that everybody does it. Some people have these like a lot of swervy kind of things like that. They might swerve around here and swerve around there. And sometimes I like how that looks. Sometimes I think it's a little obsessive, like being swervy for the sake of swerving. See how this arm comes in on this side? It kind of like, it makes it look like the gun is heavy for her. She has to use all of her body to hold up this object, and so she puts her arm in front of her. That's another thing that you can learn from these gesture drawings, is the way that people carry weight, the way that the body moves and changes with different weights and stuff. That's actually one of the more important things. Okay, now we got two people. I'm going to start with her because she's there. And mind you, I'm doing this with, I'm new at this whole pad thing. I might be a bit more smoother if I had, let me take a moment to study that curve right there. Yeah, it's kind of like that. I might be a bit more smoother on paper. I'm not really used to this Wacom thing, but anyway. Does that look like a shoe? Sure it does. And she has this. Or is that her or his leg? What's going on right there? Right over here. I can't tell. Is she wearing a red top stocking, or is that part of his pants? Like something's mixed up in there. Calf muscle. That's this muscle here behind the leg. She has pretty strong one. This goes here. This shoe. It's interesting, part of the gesture. Okay. And let's see what's next. Okay. I get this whole feeling of her where like there's something that comes out here. It's kind of obvious. There's like this oneness about the way she's standing. So I feel like I want to draw it all at once. This goes up there. This goes back there. Right? See what I'm saying? I could even just draw her foot like that. And this one like that. There's a straightness. Yeah, and then the way this arm comes back here, so only her hand is being revealed. and the way that her breasts work off the body when she is arching her back like so. It's also kind of interesting. Mind you, it's only 60 seconds per drawing, so you gotta be quick. How far up should this be? Like 2 or 3 heads? That's a big thumb you got there. Okay. You do get addicted and obsessive with some of this sometimes. I kind of like don't want to stop. Oh, too much clothing. Makes it more difficult sometimes. There's a gun. And you can't get hung up sometimes. You want to get hung up on the details. That's another great thing about this gesture drawing, is that you really, to get something visible done within the short amount of time you have, you really can't let yourself get hung up on the details. You have to just burn through it, and that teaches you a lot. It teaches you to just blurt something down. Because what will happen sometimes, if you don't sketch enough, then you'll end up making all of these highly detailed drawings with really bad foundations. And so even though it might have a lot of detail and your friends think it's cool, your family think you're a genius and all this stuff, but it's not it's not going to stand the test of time because it might have a bad foundation. Doing exercise like this help you to make better foundations a lot quicker, so that when you do have the time to sit down and make a nice drawing, getting the triangles. I'm all about the triangles. There's a triangle, box, triangle, triangle, and a head. See how that just popped out with the triangles? This is perfect for gesture drawing here. This one, the foot comes out here. It's a knee. It's a knee. I just want to, so I made a significant amount of mistakes on this. I just want to try to thicken up the areas where I don't like it. And that's why, or thicken up the areas where I do like it, I meant to say. That's why using this this thin brush for this type of exercise is really good, because I can just blurt some things down. And then if I don't like it, I'll just go over the parts that I do like a little more. That didn't turn out so well. I don't know why. This thing on her head, I don't know what that does to the composition. It looks kind of cool. Her shoulders here have a really good thing going on. Actually, her shoulders and her hips. Let's see, her shoulders are kind of going like this, and her hips are also kind of going like that, which is a little unique. Usually the hips will counterbalance the shoulders, but in this case, because her hips are going back a little and the way she's throwing her weight around. Sometimes I do think some of these images are unnecessarily risque. She's like, you know, got some kind of bandaged S&M thing going on here. Trying to figure out. Yeah, so her elbow would be about here. So I mean, this is not a great image per se. This one here. Try and get the whole body. This is something I have not been doing correctly. Is maybe try to get the whole body as quickly as possible, with as few brush strokes as possible, just like that right there. That would be a better example. And then with the time remaining, try and fill in some of the extra stuff here. And I have this knee going up higher. You don't even have to worry about the details, or so they say. I mean, the goal of this is really to use as few lines as possible, and you don't have to worry about like the hair and this and that. It's all about just capturing the gesture. The finished thing should look like a few as possible lines that represent the human form that you're seeing. That one I think turned out okay. although I might have scribbled too much. But that's what I do. I'm a scribbler. I'm a sketch artist, amongst other things. This guy has weird back. Not that, I exaggerated it just a tad too much. His head here. This part comes in here. Again, as few lines as possible, as quickly as possible. His feet down there. In order to capture this correctly, I gotta show the flatness of the bottom of his feet. And from head to shoulder, we got another triangle. You know, I'm big on the triangles. That's just me. I'm your trigonometry sketch artist here. Good to get that nose face kind of feature shown there. Not necessary. I like how the shading comes in here. Do something like that. You can get the sensation of like angst that he has, or at least it looks kind of like that. Okay, I'm going to call this the last one because I don't know how long this is going to go on for. And I'll, well, this last one for this quick sketch session here. I need a break. And, geez, what one? There's a real good one to end with. Nice and easy, eh? Not. Okay, and then her other hand's over here. I have no idea where this is going to go. Of course, you can't even see what's going on because it's all cluttered. It's a challenge. But I can see this curve coming out. Is it? No, actually, that's straight. This kind of curves in. That goes there. But I see a curve coming out over here because this leg goes over, yeah, something like that. And then the other leg kind of comes down straight behind that one. But why she has kind of a dance to her, as mine is feeling not as dancey. I don't know why. The hair seems important. Get the hair, get the hair. Breasts in here. Can barely make out the shape of her body anyway. But this foot, I like the way that foot's coming out. Okay, that's the last one. So let me stop that. What I can do for this is just go up to here, and I'll bring it back to the home page to stop. So, yeah, I didn't save all those. You can see I was just deleting as I went along. That's just something you can do to really get some, you know, like all the things I said while I was doing, there's so many things. It helps you to learn more about the way the weight of the body, the way that the form of the body shifts to carry weight and balance. And you can use it to get a lot of sketches out for, let's say you're planning a scene for a concept art or for a comic book or something like this. You can get all kinds of stuff like that out. Just bust out some different poses, see which one's going to look the best, so it can improve your sketching of the full body in a rapid pace kind of thing, and get a feeling for different compositions, and just to study, you know, the way art works with drawing on the body. So I might come back and do some more of this later. For now, I'm just going to leave this right here. Perhaps I'll add another video to the end of this one, and we'll do some more, maybe get into the challenging ones. But for the moment, that's it, and I'll see you soon.